Let's see if we can touch this up a little bit. Now, one thing I'm not real happy with is that shape here, the inferior articulating surfaces. That feels like it's really super thin here, and there's not the support it needs. So what I'm going to do, I've selected that edge and that edge. I'm going to scale the distance between them, that edge a little bit, and I think that will help give it the appearance that there's a little, support. Okay. Let's try some of the major areas here. This shape isn't looking real good. The way the canal right here in the posterior part of the body is very straight and flat, and when I rounded it, it's not quite following that contour as much as my sketch shows. So I think what I'm going to try is using an edge loop, a pair of edge loops. I'll insert a pair of edge loops, and I'll go kind of on either side of the middle line, about the same distance. Oops. Not sure why in God's name it did that. Okay. Doesn't want to go down that front end. So let's try a different technique then. If the edge loop won't work, let's try using the multi-cut tool. And instead of actually touching anything, meaning a vertex or an edge, let's instead drag it and hold the shift key. Now that seemed to do what I wanted to do. See, that put an edge right through. The edge loop tool wasn't understanding that shape for some reason. We're with this option. So I'm not on an edge. I'm off in open space, if you will. I'm holding the shift key to force it to make a straight line. And there we go. Okay. So now we see if we can get the vertex. And right now the move tool appears to be on a component mode. So that actually might be in our favor. Let's see if I can move that and that. Yeah, I'm not real keen about getting too asymmetrical there. So what else do we have going on here? Also looks like this distance feels a little thick here and here. So maybe what I can do is grab these vertices and scale them. Looks like I'm missing that set there. Okay, and maybe what I can do then is, I'm sorry, skip on the scale. And now let's try moving and turn the move back to the world. Let's see if I take these two areas, these two sets of vertices, move them forward. That starts to get me more of that round shape I want. And maybe my these faces here, maybe they could be a, oops, got to let go. Could be a little narrower. And that starts to match. The one thing, whoops, didn't take the front face, just the top ones. Let's try undoing that for a second and seeing why I can't get that. There we go. Now I think I will take those two front ones. Now I'm getting a better shape. So I'm not quite sure why I'm getting this. I don't like where these things are coming together like a triangle like that. I'm trying to figure out what's causing that problem. Still have, oh, I see what I did wrong. Got 4. And that's 4. That's okay. And that's 4. Yeah, I was thinking for a second there I missed it. So I think one thing I might do right now, get this object. I think I've got quite a bit of history on it, so I better delete the history to make sure I'm not going to crash here. We're really pretty close. I think at this point, only thing I really see that's still not quite there is the, I really should have done this again when it was divided, but I need to indicate where the ribs are going to articulate. And there's a little area here, kind of like a saddle, where the head of one of the rib will wedge itself between a pair of vertebrae. And I don't really have that on there yet. And I think, you know what, I might even just wait and try to do that in Mudbox. So let's just get this, see if we can get this to hold together a little better. So I'm not keen on the way this smooths like a marshmallow. I want to give it some more edges. So I'm going to insert, see if I can just use the insert edge loop to kind of hold that body shape more. And I'm even going to add one here in the middle so I can maybe change the contour a little more. Let's see what that does. Okay, that's helping. There's something still funky right here. Yeah, see, something's not quite right here. So I'm going to pause the tape and see if I can figure out what's causing that. There's no connection across here. I may have to just go do that manually. So you can see when I went to 1, you see that the insert edge loop didn't insert for some reason across these planes. It's like these faces seem to be not quite. I want to just make sure one more time that that vertex is one vertex and not one on top of the other. Yeah, see, there's an extra edge in there for some reason. Like a pair of edges. Maybe when it duplicated it put that in there. Okay, this one's okay. That one's not. Yeah, that one's okay. For some reason right here is this extra edge. All right, so I'm gonna correct that. Let me just double check one more time. All right, so I don't know, quite honestly. Okay, this really isn't lined up well. So let's take this and move it with the V tool. Put those two on top of one another. Now I want to grab those two edges. So I'm going to get an angle where I can drag and not risk inadvertently dragging several edges. I'm just going to merge those edges. I'm going to do the same thing. Down here, I really don't need anything more but to get rid of that edge, this extra one. So I'll delete it. Okay. Now I'll try to bring this vertex a little more in line. It's actually this one I think should go back a little bit. So I really need to look at this in the front view very quickly. So it looks like I'm relatively straight. Okay. So I still need to connect now, so we'll go get that multi-cut tool. Connect right across. Turn. Okay, so we still have a problem here. I think there's, for some reason, there's these duplicate edges where I've got these corners or these triangles. So I'm going to go in and just work on these edges a little bit, see if I can clean them up, and then I'll put the tape back on for you.